Is stress making you fat? Face it, we live in a hyper speed world, running from one thing to another. We've always got that stress hormone activated almost all day long. This is why 95% of my patients that come in with complaints of anxiety because they're living in this state of go with really, like I say, only two gears, faster and faster. Now, unfortunately, when you're under stress, your body produces a stress hormone called cortisol. I like to call that the belly fat storage hormone. Now, as well as when my body's under stress, it's going to tell the body that it needs instant energy. So what's the body going to do? It's going to start dumping glucose from its muscles into the bloodstream for quick, fast action moves. But you're not going anywhere. You're just stressing at your desk trying to get home. So now you've got cortisol, which is activated, and also you have glucose in there. Now, unfortunately, when I've got glucose in there, that hormone insulin comes out to drive it into the cell wall, but cortisol blocks it. And we end up potentially increasing our potentiality to get what we call insulin resistance or a pre-diabetic state, which nobody wants to have that because it's much more harder to manage your weight. Now, unfortunately, when we're activated under stress, it's going to shut your digestive system down as well. But when the stress is over with, what happens? All that sugar that you dumped in the bloodstream needs to be replaced. So you start looking and rummaging around for things that are going to bring that glucose level up, like your chips and your carbohydrates and your fruits, things that, once again, dumping more glucose is going to aggravate the cortisol levels again. So it's very important, once you kind of feel that you are able to relax a moment, it's just to check in with yourself. And if you're reaching for one of those snacks that I just mentioned, ask yourself, am I truly hungry? And if I am, let's go for something that's going to stabilize our glucose levels. And that's going to be a little bit of protein. Protein very quickly will stabilize your blood sugar. And so a lot of times I will just reach for some nuts. They're going to have fats, they're going to have protein, and they're not going to affect my insulin levels, creating a more influx in terms of my blood sugar. So if you find yourself reaching for snacks at inappropriate times, especially after experience a lot of stress, check in with yourself. Many times I'll just have a glass of water with about 1/8 of a teaspoon of good Celtic salt or Himalayan rock salt. That perks my adrenals back up, and it keeps me from wanting to have those salty, crunchy chips, right? When you have adrenal issues, you're always going to go for the salty, crunchy foods because salt is something that is utilized a lot by the adrenal glands. So if today you find yourself a little bit anxious and you find yourself rummaging through your kitchen looking for snacks to try to elevate your glucose levels, stop, check in with yourself, and ask yourself, what about what I'm thinking is causing me to feel fear? Fear is something that very quickly activates our stress hormones. I always say, right here, right now, I am better than okay. So that's what I say. Check in. Don't let yourself go over the edge because it's really easy to do that. You find yourself down the tunnel of stress. Pull yourself up and say, right here, right now, I'm better than okay.